Hi everyone, it's Liam here from Rating the Races, back again. Obviously we've had quite a few days of good racing. We had another good day today of some top quality racing over in Ireland at Leopardstown and Limerick, and there's a few races that I wanted to talk about. First race being the maiden hurdle over 2.5 mile, which Willie Mullins' 4-year-old filly Jade de Grugy won it under Paul Townend. Now, she hadn't run for 452 days, so clearly she's ran a really good race. However, she has beaten nothing. The form in behind was, look at these R figures, as maiden hurdles and novice hurdles and bumper performances, they are very, very average. So she was more than entitled to win that if she was anywhere, even if she was like a horse who ended up finishing 8th, 9th, 10th in a graded race, the grade ones at the Cheltenham Festival. If she turned up in off the back of this and finished 8th in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, it wouldn't surprise me. I wouldn't be like, wow, I thought she would run a lot better than that. She hasn't beaten anything, so she'll definitely need another run, probably at the Dublin Racing Festival, if she's got any hopes of running at the Cheltenham Festival. She didn't beat anything, so don't rush to back her just yet, in my opinion. It was good. She had to grind it out, sort of thing. Yeah, she was going away from them, but she wasn't going away from them like completely on the bridle, if that makes sense. I'd need to see her again before I had any real understanding of her form and ability. Move on to the 115, the beginner's chase, and this was a much better run from Fact to File, and it was a good run, to be fair, and he was very, very impressive winning. Great to see, because he's 6, he's gone straight over fences after his bumper days. Finished second on his seasonal comeback over fences. Probably thought that was a bit disappointing at the time. He might just have needed the run. He might not have been ready. This time he beat Zanahiyr, who was fit, and he beat Manila Kakuna. He might have needed the run, but he beat Zanahiyr, who was fit. Now, Zanahiyr is not top class. Not a grade 1 multiple champion, multiple winner. You can see Zanahiyr has only won once in his last 10 runs, when winning at Punchestown over 2 mile 2. But, he's like, I think he finished 3rd in a champion hurdle, and where was he last year? What did he do? Did he run last year? Didn't run at the festival. 3rd at Aintree in a grade 1, 3rd in the champion hurdle. So that's the sort of level he is. Fact to File has beaten him comfortably, though, and should improve again. Still lightly raced. I thought that was a very good performance from Fact to File. I thought it was a nice performance, and they should be really pleased with that. Of those in behind, don't really know where any of them are going to go, personally. The 150, won by Irish Point. This was impressive. This, for me, was a better performance than Crambo winning the long walk at Ascot, in the fact that he beat Asterion Volange and Ballyadam and Beacon Edge, who, in my opinion, well, first of all, they're not 10, 11 and 12. They're not the really old Asterion Volange and Ballyadam and that. Are they as good? Maybe not. But I think if you had Irish Point versus Crambo, I'd be siding with Irish Point for sure. I think he would beat... I think Dashel Drasher and that would end up in this group now because of their age. Whereas I think Crambo might beat those, but Irish Point would beat Crambo. I thought this was a really good performance from Irish Point. I do know, I have heard, as has been published, it's not just something I've heard, they are thinking of actually skipping Cheltenham and going to Aintree. Totally understand that. Maybe it's a slightly easier race, potentially on better going. That was a very, very good performance from Irish Point. We look at the 205, the Faugheen Novices Chase, won by Gaelic Warrior in the Faugheen colours, beating Il Était Tomp, I Know the Way You're Thinking, and American Mike. And the Best Oars won it. It was a very, very good performance, wasn't it? How on earth did he get beat in the Boodles? I know some people, one person replied and said he doesn't like going left-handed. You're talking rubbish there. He then went to, before finishing second at the Cheltenham Festival in a grade 1, he had won the Liffey Handicap at Leopardstown. I'm not saying how did he, Gaelic Warrior didn't get beat in the Supreme Novice when he got beat in that first year. He got beat in a handicap of 129. So the left-handed thing, he could have gone left-handed and upside down, and he still should have been able to win that Boodles. Nothing to do with going left-handed. He just got beat because he didn't run up to scratch at all, did he? I thought it was interesting hearing what's happened with Pertemps. The suggestion that Patrick Mullins, had a go at Danny Mullins for trying to go up his inside. Patrick left the door open, and Pertemps and Danny Mullins were trying to win the race. They're doing what they should do, rather than going, well, you've told me I can't go up there, so I'm not going to go up there. That's ridiculous. That's team riding. That's not race riding. That's team riding. And if Patrick thinks that that's right to be telling another jockey you can't go up the inside, no. You've got, that's trying to dominate horse racing in a way that shouldn't be allowed. So I was pleased to see Danny trying to go up there. He didn't get up there, and in my opinion, Patrick had no right to have a moan at him afterwards. In terms of the race, really impressive from Gaelic Warrior. I mean, the 2.5 novice chase at Cheltenham looks ideal for him, doesn't it? Moving on to the 2.25, the Savills chase. I tweeted just before the race, the Gold Cup winner runs here. I was being a bit clever there, because whilst I'd napped Galopin Des Champs, if Jerry Colombe beat him, Jerry Colombe would have been the one I was saying will win the Gold Cup. What I was saying is whoever wins this race will win the Gold Cup. And Galopin Des Champs won it by 23 lengths, didn't he? I know we could pick holes in the form if we wanted to be really picky. Aplutar, not the horse he was. Appreciate it didn't stay. Conflated probably wants that Grand National cross-country course. Churchdown Warrior not good enough. Iron Maximus wants further. Capodanno isn't this level. Jerry Colombe struggles to get going. I think if Jerry Colombe hadn't been winning over shorter distances and been, going up the ratings and stuff, he would have ended up in like a Grand National. That's the type of horse, that's the stamina he's got. Doesn't have that turn of foot that Galopin Des Champs has, and Galopin Des Champs, I think he was very, very good. I actually thought he beat Braveman's Game relatively comfortably last year, but it left a mark, and that's what got him beat at Punchestown. And then on his return, he ran over 2 miles 3. He went up to 3. That's not his trip. I said after the race that people were like, oh, he's not going to win a Gold Cup. It's clearly left its mark. It hadn't. It's just that he was running over too short a trip. Up to 3 mile. Very, very impressive. He'll win the Gold Cup. I don't see Fast or Slow actually beating him at the Cheltenham Festival. If Fast or Slow had won the Old Teamer, maybe, but he didn't even win the Old Teamer. He didn't beat Corach Rambler. Okay, Corach Rambler was well handicapped, but so was Fast or Slow based on what they've done since. Galopin Des Champs, I think, will win the Gold Cup quite comfortably, to be honest, because Braveman's Game's clearly not at the same level anymore. And the final race I wanted to just have a talk about was the Pertemps Qualifier. Obviously, the first 4 get into the final. Now, Foxy Jacks won't be running in that. Foxy Jacks will be running in the cross-country. But I imagine he might come back for the 3 mile handicap at the Dublin Racing Festival, so keep an eye out for him. The other one who I thought was interesting from this race was Farouk Delaine. Now, that's his first run and first to finish for a long time in a proper race. If we actually go back through his form, though, and we come to this race here, he fell at Cheltenham in what was the RSA chase. Can't remember what they called it then. Was it the Broadway Novices then, or whichever one it was? It's the 3 mile novice chase. And he was actually going really well still when trying to challenge L'Empresse. Now, that's clearly very good form. And he'd also been to... Had he been to Cheltenham before that? I thought he had, over hurdles. He's got some good form. He's got some graded form. He qualified for the Pertemps final off the back of that, finishing second. I wonder if we might see him into a graded race that he doesn't win. He disappoints. Maybe at the Dublin Racing Festival, they go back up to the Grade 1 company and it doesn't quite work over hurdles. And then they drop him back for the Pertemps final. On his probable second in the RSA, that would give him a massive chance in the Pertemps final. I think they've done really well to get him qualified there. Obviously, last year they actually had Eric Bloodaxe qualify from this race, who then didn't make the festival after, unfortunately, losing his life. But he was, from this race, he was the one I liked. because I think Gigginstown have a good record of working from this race to the Pertemps final. And they've got Farouk Delaine qualified. And at their best, he was the best horse in this race. And at their best, he would probably be... I can't think of many horses that could be running in a Pertemps final at the end of in March that would have got better form at some point than Farouk Delaine. So there's just a few thoughts from Leopardstown and Limerick. Jade de Grugy needs to see her again before I can judge her. Factophile, very impressive. That 2.5 at the Cheltenham Festival looks ideal. Irish Point, I thought that was a really good run. Stayers Hurdle, if he doesn't, he'll go to Aintree, and I think he'll take all the beating there. Gaelic Warrior will take all the beating wherever he runs. If I went at Gaelic Warrior and Factophile, I would definitely pick Gaelic Warrior. I thought that was very, very impressive. Galopin de Champs wins the Gold Cup after that. And Farouk Delaine could be the interesting one for the Pertemps final.